Toronto?
Yeah, it's like, yeah, I mean, I think it's the right pronunciation is Toronto. So ऐसा तो नहीं होगा कि अब मैं सिर्फ एक्टिंग करूँगी और मैं सोशल मीडिया की तरह तू देखो मतलब और मैं थकूंगी भी नहीं ऐसा तो नहीं होगा. Me and Dolly's flight got delayed by about 18 hours on the day we were supposed to fly. And somehow, even though we should have been cribbing, we were like, great, this is great.
Why cribbing? It's a gifted 18
hours.
hours.
I was like, amazing. I can't not be grateful to it. There's an audience I have also built. चाहे छोटी हो बड़ी हो मुझे लगता है मेरे लोग हैं you know and they support me for whatever it's worth. Like my audience backs me, stands by me.
Hi Shivani, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming to Social Ketchup. I want to start. My first question has to be, how was Toronto? Like, am I saying it in the right accent?
Toronto? Yeah, it's like, yeah, I mean, I think it's the right pronunciation is Toronto.
Toronto.
I really liked it, Mrinil. Like, it was my first time outside, no, not first time outside India, I'm stupid. First time in North America.
Okay.
Like, I have not been to the US. I did not think I'd be able to go to Canada. The last time I applied for a visa, it got rejected because I didn't submit the right kind of paperwork or something. So this time when it happened, I was like, चाहे मेरा शरीर टूट जाए मैं मर जाऊँ. Like I think I have been jet lagged for the last 10 days. Like I went there, I was jet lagged. They put us to work because there was a lot of work that had to be packed in 2 days. And then I came back and I was jet lagged again. So I'm sort of recovered. Like मुझे अभी तक jet lag नहीं recover हो रहा है. But every waking moment was worth it. The sky looks different. The AQI there was 2. I was like 2. How does it feel?
We can breathe properly.
So much oxygen. Like anyway, but it was fun, and I've not been to, as I said, you know, any country in North America. So
घूमे कुछ?
घूमे ज़्यादा नहीं, थोड़ा बहुत, मतलब जितना हो सका.
Hectic schedule होगा.
हाँ, तो I think there was this one day where me, Kusha and Dolly decided screw everything, हम सैर करने जाएंगे. तो हम 9 बजे से लेके 1 बजे तक सैर किए, थके मरे, सबको नहाना पड़ा आके. उसके बाद उसी दिन रेड कार्पेट था तो सबकी वाट लगी थी. तो देयर वाज अ लॉट ऑफ कैफीन इन्वॉल्व्ड. ऑल ऑफ अस वर लाइक हाई ऑन कॉफी, ब्लैक कॉफी, ऑल ऑफ दैट. बट आई थिंक me and Dolly's flight got delayed by about 18 hours on the day we were supposed to fly. And somehow, even though we should have been cribbing, we were like, great, this is great.
Why cribbing? It's a gifted 18 hours.
I was like, amazing, let's go do tourist things, you know. So we went.
Like your schedule was wrapped.
Yeah.
Ideally, you should be on plane.
Yeah.
So.
No, I think my only worry was, fuck, you know, अब देर से पहुँचेंगे, फिर दोबारा से काम होगा, फिर सोने को नहीं मिलेगा. Anyway, we slept on the flight.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I know Thank You For Coming is not your first project, like an entertainment project.
Right.
But it's the first big ticket movie, मतलब Bollywood promotions involved here.
Right.
How surreal it is to see yourself on a big screen, from reels to a big screen that we all die for. How are you feeling?
You know, this is not exactly the first time I'm seeing myself on the big screen. And I did start with reels. So I started with the big
acting.
screen only, and it's just that I don't think sometimes, you know, through the course of the work that you do, people see that one milestone that gets you noticed, but there's like years of effort that's put in, and sadly for me, it's never really like been bigger than my content on reels. So that's why there's a lot of recall value कि कैसा लगता है आपको जब आप रील्स से उठ के बिग स्क्रीन पे अपने आप को दिखते हैं. I'm like, actually मुझे अच्छा लगता है, but ये पहले देख चुकी हूँ मैं. Or so yeah, I mean, it's just that for the first time in my life, there's such active promotional activity around the project that I'm doing. I am very involved in that promotional activity, and the stakes are higher, you know, because the picture को इतना मतलब it's being anticipated a lot. It's gone to film festivals which are very celebrated. It has a cast of people who are very well known. So there's just a lot of buzz, and I just hope the movie does well because I seriously have high hopes. So yeah, I just hope that, you know, it all lives up and the stakes are higher. So yeah, I'm just hoping कि picture भी चले, मेरा काम भी appreciate हो, और मुझे दोबारा किसी set पे जाके ये ना बोलना पड़े कि मैं डेब्यू नहीं कर रही.
No, I know it's not your debut. I've seen your IMDb page as well. I've seen your different. When we say Shivani Bedi, we Google you.
Right.
We
Right.
know
Right.
that you've worked in past. But I feel like, is this something you were looking for all this while?
I mean, when I started Reels, Instagram, social media, all of this is like a 5-6 year long phenomenon. उससे पहले anybody who was acting or doing performing arts was not doing it with the intention of doing it for YouTube. So yeah, I mean, when I started out, I was hoping, but the thing is, it never really occurred to me that this could be a possibility because the opportunities were so less. That way, online made it easy to be financially secure without maybe having a regular job, which is what I think sometimes you need when you want to crack a system which is completely कहते हैं ना मतलब unpredictable. This is very uneven territory. यहाँ पे कभी काम आता है कभी नहीं आता है. तो आप बिना नौकरी के नहीं जी सकते तो आप साल में 2 पिक्चर भी करोगे तो आपका घर नहीं चलेगा एटलीस्ट जब आप शुरू कर रहे होते हो. So that way, whatever skill set I had, whatever I'd been doing, which was always being juggled with a regular job, I could afford to focus on acting and maybe cracking auditions, trying to take my ambition of being an actor somewhere because of the social media boom and the popularity I gained there and the money I make through that. So thoda sa that aspect really helped social media ka. But yeah, the aim always was कि हाँ मतलब अगर मैं acting करती हूँ तो मुझे ये करना है. But मुझे वो पता नहीं था कि कब मैं शुरू करूँगी. मतलब वो कुछ काफ़ी सारी चीज़ें अपने आप हो गई. Like
So do you think that maybe in future you will be like a full-time actor only?
I don't know, Mrinil, because I think content has given, like social media has given me a lot. Being a content creator is what has gotten me notice enough to be, how do I say, like in the sense like the recognition that I've got.
You get an inroad because
Yeah,
you know
and
that
there's a lot of recognition that's come through it. Matlab, I can't not be grateful to it. There's an audience I have also built, चाहे छोटी हो बड़ी हो, मुझे लगता है मेरे लोग हैं वो, and they support me for whatever it's worth. Like my audience backs me, stands by me. So ऐसा तो नहीं होगा कि अब मैं सिर्फ एक्टिंग करूँगी और मैं सोशल मीडिया की तरह तू देखो मैं थकूंगी भी नहीं. ऐसा तो नहीं होगा. Like obviously I will create content, but I do feel like maybe now I think I've been thinking of it for a while कि थोड़ा ना diversify मैं भी शायद करूँ. Maybe I'll change what content I make. I don't want to just constantly keep making mummy content. I want to maybe put my voice a little bit more out because I feel like मुझे थोड़ी ना शर्म आती है actually. I'm a little shy, तो मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि मैं अगर अपने आप को बहुत vulnerable कर दूँगी तो सब मुझे judge करेंगे. Not realizing कि लोग तो वैसे भी judge करते हैं.
जज तो हमेशा ही करते हैं. आप सोशल मीडिया पे हो तो जज तो हो ही रहे.
Yeah, I might as well just be honest and put my truth out more, be unapologetic.
So can you give me a sneak peek about the character you're playing in the movie?
So I'm playing one of Bhumi's closest friends.
Yeah.
We are childhood friends. This woman is a single mother and got married, got knocked up very early. She's the caretaker, protector, मम्मी. वो मम्मी होती है ना ग्रुप की
मम्मी.
हाँ ये वो है, पर खुद भी पागल है. Okay? और ऐसा नहीं है कि सब कुछ पता है. उसको लगता है उसको सब पता है, पर उसको फिर भी नहीं पता है. So ये इन तीनों का जो फ्रेंडशिप है, भूमि की, डॉली और टीना की, जो मेरा कैरेक्टर है. The story revolves around all the bad advice that these idiots keep giving each other, the conflict in their relationship, and then the conflict in Kanika, Bhumi's character's life. Yeah, so I think there's like they are all pivotal to each other's track in a way, and then everything comes together, conflict resolution. Yeah, so
with Riya Kapoor, we've already seen one example of girl friendships that she's done, and how different do you think Thank You For Coming is in treatment or for the audience in general? So Veere the Wedding was a classic example of girl friendships, and also that a movie can run only with female characters in it, and it's something similar with Thank You For Coming. She's come up with it.
Right.
So how different it will be for an audience? Okay, it's not a throwback. It's to Veere the Wedding, or it's a very different film in treatment and the voice it has.
I feel like apart from focusing on women, their lives, their needs, them expressing it unapologetically and enjoying whatever they can enjoy about their femininity and womanhood. It is definitely a story about female friendship. Um, and women either uplifting each other or cutting each other down also, along with maybe targeting this conversation around women and pleasure, which is treated with so much taboo, like all the things that women are shamed for asking, for needing, for not being able to bring to the table sometimes. I think Thank You For Coming tackles all of it in like the funniest, most enjoyable way, most relatable way possible. Like I remember the first time I read the script, which has been written by these really fabulous writers, Radhika Anand and Prashasti Singh, who also Prashasti has done the dialogues for the movie also, and I think she's a comedian, like top notch, like above par comedian. I think when I read the script, I was like, यार ये इतनी relatable है और ये इतनी funny है कि मतलब हमने कुछ 6 बारी स्क्रिप्ट पढ़ी है, टेबल रीड से लेके जब हम शूट भी कर रहे थे और मैं घर जाके कभी प्रिपेयर कर दी थी, मैं हंसती रहती थी यार, कि क्या है। और इट्स सो फनी बिकॉज हमने वो स्क्रिप्ट मतलब हमने 1.5 साल जिया है वो पूरा स्क्रिप्ट, और फिर मैंने जब स्क्रीन पे देखी मूवी, आई फाउंड इट रियली फनी। बट देयर आर मोमेंट्स वेयर यू जस्ट लाइक you go back and you're enjoying the film, but it makes you reflect, understand, relate. I hope men can also maybe take something away from it if they maybe trust the women in their life to take them and watch this movie with them or even watch it independently. I feel like Thank You For Coming that way tackles like a lot of these social issues and stigmas that women face without making it like all about it, without going all like, there's no kranti happening in your face, but there is like this slight krantikari angle that it brings to the table without being very obvious.
I wanted to ask you about it, that handling a topic of female pleasure very comically is, still, do you think it's going to stir some conversation, because it's much needed that a big ticket film come talk about this in public, in massive possible way, massive way, and I really feel that is what Riya can do.
No, and it's true also, like there were a few interviews when we released our trailer where somebody asked Riya that, why do you make these movies? And so I've had a conversation with Riya and Ekta Kapoor, who's the co-producer, and both of these, women who are so powerful, have been working for so long, very aware of their privilege also, they just like can't stop talking about the fact that कोई औरतों की पिक्चरें बनाना ही नहीं चाहता है, कोई पैसे नहीं देता है आपको, तो आपको कहीं ना कहीं you have to work doubly hard to prove that people want to see this and we can do this, so that you can set a benchmark or an example to get more financiers to finance and produce your movies. And Riya said something very important and very interesting. She's like, I know where I come from, I know I'm Anil Kapoor's daughter, मेरे पास ये सब प्रिविलेज है, मेरे पास ये सब एक्सेस है, अगर मेरे जैसे लोग भी वो काम नहीं करेंगे जो कोई नहीं कर पा रहा है बिकॉज उनको कोई ट्रस्ट नहीं करता, उनके पास एक्सेस नहीं है, तो फिर लानत है मेरे पे. एंड आई फील लाइक मे बी दैट्स द रीजन व्हाई शी मेक्स मूवीज लाइक दिस, वेयर women telling women's stories becomes the center point, and the stories that are told are stories which push the envelope a little bit,
Yeah, I think women telling women's stories is what is required for women empowerment in India. Yeah. And both, I feel Ekta and Riya, only these two people can do that.
But they do have access and the power to do it, and I feel like they also have an audience and people in their life and in the industry who take them seriously enough, because they've also managed to prove time and time again that certain risks are worth taking. But in that sense, I feel like Thank You For Coming is unconventional, and I think the producers are very aware of it, but because they want more and more people to see it, nothing is in your face. Like Ekta joked about this, that this is probably the most non-sexual movie I have made with a sexual title, whereas there are a lot of movies which I say are social cause, and wahan pe bahut sara you see a lot of like A-rated content and all of that. So she's like, I hope people don't get frazzled or swayed by the title.
Okay. I would also want, when we're talking about female friendships, you have like you shared screen with two of your friends,
Yeah.
Kusha and Dolly.
Yeah.
How was that? How was working with your friends? How comfortable were you because you shared screen with people
Yeah.
you already know?
So, the thing is, me and Dolly had a lot of scenes together because, we were the trio circle, whatever. And Kusha and me didn't have a lot in common, like in the movie, like our shoot schedules clashed maybe 2 3 times. But I feel like with both of them, especially with Kusha, because, me and her have not actively been in touch. Whatever, after the IDVA thing, we'd meet here and there, but there was never like an active association. But I feel like we have this strange unsaid comfort that we share, which I noticed when I met Dolly during the initial हमारी जब reading होती थी script की जो भी we used to have like screen reads with different combination of actors. So from that audition time to this day, I feel like Dolly though feels like a behan. And even with Kusha, like I remember when I met her during the shoots and the reads and everything, not for a single moment that like there is this unsaid comfort I have with these girls, which just makes it easy to just be around them, and be anything and everything around them. And I feel like they genuinely, when the need arises, they are actually really supportive and the biggest cheerleaders.
We also feed off from each other's energy
Yeah.
when you're shooting with someone you know.
Yeah, and they feel like family,
Yeah.
like there's so much familiarity. We've shared this, I mean, like, though that IDVA phase which went on for 3 years, and then over time, there is this unsaid bond that exists which just makes it easy to start and take it off from wherever. तो मतलब कुछ establish नहीं करना पड़ता, वो already established है तो घर जैसी ही feeling आती है.